In this segment we're going to talk about how to install your new header graphics. The items you're going to need for this installation are 2 ladders, because you will need a helper. This will be a 2-person job. You need a roll of masking tape, a tape measure, and a box cutter. Before you install your graphic, you're going to want to make sure to clean the walls really good. Wipe it down. That's going to ensure that the adhesive on the graphic gets a good stick to the wall. Your graphic's going to come in a 10-foot roll.
You got to buy the other cap.
The first thing you want to do is take it out and lay the graphic out so that it takes the curl out of it. You don't want to let that set for a few minutes before you work with it. Make sure you lay your graphic face up. Once you've measured the space for your graphic, if you find that the graphic is too long and it needs to be shortened, you're going to want to cut the graphic at the breaks provided. A pair of scissors will work, or a box cutter. Just cut it right at the line. The graphic comes in 10-foot lengths, so every line is at a 30-inch break. For positioning your graphic on the wall, you're going to want to try to align it with the apparel graphics and helmet graphics that you have in your store as much as possible. You're going to use the tape to pre-position the graphic on the wall. Next thing you're going to do is make sure your graphic is level by finding a point to measure off of. In this case, we're using the gray line. We're measuring each end from the gray line to the top of the graphic. You're going to want to pull the graphic nice and taut so that you get a good measurement off of it. Measure both sides and adjust it accordingly so that you're nice and level. So once your graphic is level, you've got the 2 ends taped, you're going to want to put some tape at several points across the top of the graphic. This will help keep it in place while you're working with it. You're going to want to put 1 long piece of tape across the center, from top to bottom. And this method is called the center hinge. Yes. Place the second piece of tape right next to it. You want to make sure your graphic is nice and secure to the wall. The thing you're going to do is pull the left side of the graphic away from the wall and remove the backing. You're going to want to remove the backing all the way to the center hinge. Once you've got most of the backing peeled off, you're going to cut it.
And carefully.
And carefully smooth the graphic out.
Racing to the edge and beyond it is a matter of psychology. A racer must balance aggression, safety, and risk at the speed of a supercomputer. After the race,
if you develop any air bubbles in the graphic, you can use any kind of credit card, gift card, anything like that. It's pretty easy to smooth it out, get all the air bubbles out of it. Now you can begin to install the other half of the graphic. You can remove the blue tape at this point.
TheCycleGear TV. Start talking.
Pull the graphic back until you can see the
200 Bluetooth
backing paper.
communication system kits now starting from just $229.99.
And as you start to peel that backing off,
take phone calls, get GPS directions, and various rider-to-rider
you can now smooth it out
all hands and boom
as you go along.
Ask a team member more about TheCycleGear's patented ABF DSP technology,
Pull that side up.
your voice and suppresses background noise, making your calls crystal clear. So start talking and save up to $50 with UClear's HVC 200.
As you smooth it out, have your assistant continue to pull the backing paper
Just $399.99.
and just smooth it out as you go along.
For just $229.99. Only for a limited time. Here at TheCycleGear. We will be back updating yourself with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Your money, place refund the undamaged product within 30 days of purchase. It's that simple. Ask about TheCycleGear 100%.
You want to be careful not to pull on the graphic as you're applying it to the wall, because it is kind of pliable and you could have a tendency to warp it, stretch it out of shape. But if you just take your time, just smooth it out as you go along, the graphic should go on nice and straight for you. When you apply your hard parts graphics over slat wall, you just need to be aware that when you first put it up, you may see some of the gaps behind it due to the slats. After a period of a couple of days, the graphic will smooth itself out and those gaps will go away. Height-wise, in the hard part section, going over slat wall, you want to keep your graphic kind of low as opposed to putting it up high or above the slat wall. Give yourself a couple inches above where your top row of pegs are, and that's where you're going to want to align the graphic for hard parts. You're going to want to cut the graphic to fit, trim it at the breaks, and it should make for a nice installation as the graphic lines up nicely with your standards.